Hey everyone, and welcome to Sasquatch Theory. After doing Bigfoot research at my friend Bill's property in southeast Missouri, the team and I came across a book called The Slocum Hollow Legacy that was written about a family who was experiencing large amounts of Sasquatch activity on their family farm. In the Slocum Hollow Legacy, George Slocum, a family man and a traveling piano tuner, discusses his Bigfoot encounters. He talks about how there are many strange things happening on this planet that cannot be explained, and how people are so close-minded that it fractures their ability to understand the truth about our universe. George Slocum talks about the strange Sasquatch tracks he would find on the farm. He mentioned how he thought it was odd he would find tracks in the summer, but not in the winter. These Bigfoot accounts took place in the 1940s before there was internet and what we call today the Patterson-Gimlin film. If Sasquatch doesn't exist, how did the family know about Bigfoot and what they look like? And how is it possible that myself, Bill, and the research team had no idea the Slocum family farm even existed until we later found out that it was in Bill's backyard? This is an area I've been doing research in and creating films about local Sasquatch encounters and activity. In this video, I interview the last surviving member from the Slocum Hollow Legacy. Although he did not encounter the creatures like the rest of his family, he was kind enough and willing to discuss what he heard and seen growing up as a child on this family farm.
KK, was no KK there. It was just an old road went across there. But it didn't even, I don't think it was any numbers or anything.
Not even a route number?
No, I don't think so.
And now, did y'all have any berries on that place? Because didn't you tell me a story? Was it your mom who?
Oh yeah, they had, my sisters, they used to pick blackberries to sell, yeah. They'd get 20 cents a gallon out of them. Way back in the 40s or in the 30s, I guess, yeah.
And they're the ones that had this, that stood up, and then one went this way, one went that way?
Oh no, that was some other woman.
Oh.
That was a neighbor woman.
What happened with that one?
The woman?
Yeah, what happened with her?
Oh, well, she's buried on the hill up here, there by you, across the road.
Oh, is she at Simmons?
Yeah. That's Stacy, yeah.
But she's seen it.
Yeah, she saw it up there.
So there's a bunch of different people that have seen them around the area.
Yeah, with his family, it was, your dad was real familiar with them.
Well, he never did see it, but my mom did. I mean, it was walking up through the chicken yard, she said, and it was upright when it was walking up through there now, you know, so, but I don't know, when my sister and her friend Donna, that time, Donna was the one that seen it. I don't think my sister Agnes even seen it, I don't believe, but anyway, they said it was on all fours, you know,
Yeah.
coming out of the creek bed.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen them on all fours.
Yeah, but
Okay. Well, I'm ready whenever you guys are. I know Bill said
I thought you were filming.
Yeah, I am. Well, I was going to ask a few questions.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Bill, like, when did you first realize that there was Sasquatch around? I know you were younger.
yeah.
When did all of this begin?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Must have been about probably 1946 or somewhere around there. I wasn't very old.
Yeah, so you were a little kid. You said you were around 8 years old?
Yeah, something like that. So probably about 8, yeah.
Okay, so what are some stories that you can remember your family telling you, or maybe some encounters that neighbors had or family members?
Well, only thing I don't know exactly how everything went, but anyway, I know this man, John Luce, come down there to go hunting up there on the place, and he went up there in the woods, and him and his son, I think, and he shot at the thing and hit it, and it was coming after him, he said, and he shot it again, and it ran off. And, but
Yeah, and he described that as an upright creature?
I guess it was. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Anyway, my sister was telling. I wrote to her and told her that Bill sent a thing over here, you know, and she said, well, it was then when that guy shot at him, John Lutz, he said when he got back down there at the house and he sat down and he was so shaky he couldn't even light a cigarette.
Yeah.
He was so nervous.
Yeah. So was the creature trying to attack him, or did he just encounter it and take a shot?
Well, when he first shot at it, I don't know. I guess he just ran across it, and then when he did shoot at it, he said it started at him. Mm-hmm. That's what my sister was saying, and then he shot again, and then he took off running.
Yeah.
So that's all I know about that.
Mm-hmm. And you were telling the story earlier. I was recording, but
Yeah.
where the dog got hit. Weren't you telling me that, Bill?
Yeah, where the dog got into the flower garden.
Oh, yeah, well, that was after dark, and my mom had a nice long flower lane there, you know, with shrubs and flowering trees and that, and our dog, Buster dog, was after him in there trying to get him. And all of a sudden, my brother was telling me, I didn't see it, and he came rolling end over end out in the driveway. So he knocked him pretty good.
Yeah.
And he never would go back in there after him anymore. He was afraid of that thing after that.
Yeah. A lot of people that I've talked to, they say the Bigfoot don't like dogs. They'll dog nap people's pets, and they'll go missing.
But
that was a good dog too, wasn't it?
Oh, he's a wonderful dog.
Yeah.
But I do remember him up there, but our peach orchard up there, you know, that thing was coming in, I guess, to get him some peaches up there, you know. He ate them, and he was up there after that thing then and barking at it real ferociously at him. But well, I didn't see it or anything, but you know that's what he was after up there, because it's like my brother was saying, you see peaches laying all over the ground that had one bite out of them, and he'd throw them away. I guess they didn't taste good.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
now, that book that was written about what happened out here.
Michael Helm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, were the incidents that happened on the property in that book? Some of them?
Well, Michael, he didn't know anything about way up there. Michael, well, my brother-in-law and sister, they years ago in the 70s, they come down here to get out of the city to camp out for a week. I told them they'd come down here, you know, and pitch a tent here, and because I didn't have no house, just had a little bitty one-room cabin.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, they said that thing was around here then, but I never did see it, but
yeah.
But
so you actually never seen the creature, but you were surrounded by people who have encountered them.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't know. It's strange that I never did get to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe it. Bill told me about seeing it over here, and I believe that, you know.
Yeah. Have you ever heard anything strange around here?
No.
No?
But my dad used to say up there at the house that he said that, well, we're down in a hollow like that, and they'd be calling to each other on different sides of the house, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't remember exactly how he said it would go.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you that I was excited to find out that you've had experiences, or your family did, just because I've been coming out to Bill's for a while.
Yeah.
And the first time I went out there was all kinds of activity.
Yeah. There was?
They were
Yeah.
screaming, they were pushing down trees, wood knocking, and I mean, right at the edge of the woods.
Is that right?
Yeah, and that was my first time ever coming here. And we didn't know about you and your family's history. So finding out that you lived right back here, that was exciting.
We go way, way back to in the 40s, 1940s,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but
and your dad had casted that print too.
Yeah. That was it was taken up there in the creek bed in the mud, where he put a plaster of Paris or whatever that stuff
Plaster
is.
Paris.
Plaster of Paris, yeah. And anyway, I guess he took it to town to the Democrat News, and they I don't know, there was a guy down here from St. Louis, worked up there in St. Louis, and he took that article up there and put it in the Post-Dispatch up there, or the Globe Democrat, I think, in St. Louis. Of course, everybody thinks you're crazy. I mean, I don't believe it, you know.
Yeah.
But,
That's a good print too. I still have that picture at the house.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you have that.
Yeah.
oh, well, I got another one in there if you want it.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything you got? Anything you want to show?
My daughter
Wonderful.
took several copies of that, you know.
How big was the track? 24 inches, 20 inches?
No, this here they call it a baby Momo print, because it's only about 6x4 or something like that, isn't it?
I don't know. I think it's
6.5 by 4.5. I don't know.
looks pretty big, but I mean on there when you're holding it up a list, I don't know. I might be misrepresenting it, but I thought it was a little bit bigger. But
Might have been. I don't know.
Now, I was reading in the paper, it was saying that in the summer, you guys would find tracks, but in the winter, you wouldn't find any.
Yeah, that's what my dad said.
Yeah.
I don't know. He said, well, we had a little brooder house up there where he raised chickens, you know, but we didn't have any of them then. I mean, we did earlier. We'd raise chickens, you know, and then, but it wasn't. Of course, the door was open anyway. I'd read in there where he'd went in there and said he could smell where that thing had been in there. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A lot of people say it's got like this skunk, dead animal smell.
Oh,
Kind of
yeah.
like urine almost.
I
Real
didn't-
musky smell.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
But, let's see.
Now, that farm you used to live on, how many acres was it?
Oh, Dad had 500 acres up there, but it wasn't a farm. It was all woods, but he had a few, couple little fields there he'd plant, because we had milk cows, you know. I only had one cow, but I'd have to milk that old thing after I got a little older, before I went to school and run the cream separator and all that.
Did you guys ever find any cattle with like broken necks or missing heads, anything strange like that?
No,
Ever have any dogs go missing?
no,
Okay.
no, nothing like that. I don't know. But like our closest neighbors down there, they think my dad was crazy for saying there's an ape around there or anything like that. They didn't believe in that.
Yeah. And in the 1940s, what did they even call it? Was it Bigfoot back then? No, I think I got dubbed Bigfoot after the Patterson film, or after some loggers found tracks up in California.
I think around here it was like Momo, Missouri, Munster.
Yeah, that's about what my nephew Michael and them called it, the Momo, I think.
Yeah.
Momo. Momo's a band. Been around here a long time.
Yeah. Well, we are doing research out there at Bill's property, and we leave audio recorders out in the woods, and it picks up the sound of what's going on out there. And we've gotten some good things so far. Some wood knocks, trees getting pushed over. The other guys actually have like howls and grunts, and you know, it sounds like a primate. You know, like if you went to the St. Louis Zoo and
No kidding.
visited the gorilla exhibit. But yeah, we just started, so we're hoping as time goes by, we'll have a big archive.
Yeah. But I don't know. I wish I would have seen it, or still, I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
You know?
I wish you would too. Everybody in your family. Well, your dad, your sisters seen it.
Yeah.
Did your mom? Did your mom?
My mom seen it. Yeah, she saw it walking up through the chicken yard.
Through the chicken yard?
Yeah. We had a chicken house over there, but the thing was, she said it was walking up through the chicken yards.
Wouldn't take any chickens though, was it?
They love
I
chickens.
don't think it did. I know of it. Maybe it did. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just too young at the time to be able to even remember all that old stuff, about that.
And was that Mark Twain? Was that still Mark Twain all around here in the 40s, or?
I don't know.
I'm not sure when that was established.
I don't know when they did that either, but
I would think so, but
Yeah. Was there a lot more woods back then, or was there a lot of fields? Kind of like how there is now.
well,
There couldn't have been too many people back then.
We lived a mile off of 404 way back in the woods, so.
Mm-hmm.
But there was this old place that they call it the Baker's Field. Now, there was a field there then. I mean, when I was real young, there was a field. I remember because a lot of times we'd walk through that field to walk to school.
Yeah.
But
one thing I've noticed out here, like especially right now with how the leaves are falling, if you go out there, pick up a rock, there's a bunch of fresh leaves underneath it.
yeah.
And they've been known to rock throw.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, and they stack up rocks in big piles.
No
And
kidding.
I thought it was weird they call it Rock Pile Mountain.
Yeah.
Right over there.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a connection.
around there. A lot of rocks.
Yeah.
I think they use rocks to hunt deer with, I think, or maybe
Yeah.
turkeys too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
A lot of the wood knocks I heard that night, it kind of sounded like they were throwing a rock and it was hitting like an oak tree. Because you could hear like the rock hit the leaves after it made the knock sound.
Might be.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do that. I don't know.
But I mean, you're so close to Bill, there's no reason that they wouldn't be back here.
I know, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah. Unless you just happen to be right there where they're traveling through.
But when,
Used to be.
back in the 70s when my sister and brother-in-law was camped out down there,
Mhm.
Roy, my brother-in-law, he'd go down there and talk to old Charlie Francis. He was asking Charlie if he'd ever seen anything like that down there. And old Charlie told him, yeah, way back, he said just before dark he'd seen that thing go across his field down there, way back then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one right across from my house, isn't it? Down in that valley?
Yeah, well, right down here. See,
Okay.
well, J.R. Lunsford, he passed away here about a month or so ago, but he's got the farm. I mean, he managed to get the farm there, but his wife's got it now. But
Bill, did you tell him the story about the one you saw laying down back there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told that story about the one sitting down under that tree behind the house.
Yeah.
Just watching the house.
Oh, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and I got the flashlight on her.
Oh,
and
it was
I got
after
a side
dark.
view, and it looked just like an ape.
Oh yeah.
Just like an ape face. Except for the eyes were like big. The eyes were like that big around. They were huge.
They got a big head.
Oh, yeah.
Big gorilla head, and it comes like this. It comes to a point,
Oh, it does.
like a football.
No kidding.
Yep. Yep, like a football head.
I'll be darned.
Almost like a blue jay, like how they have that conical
yeah.
head.
Yeah.
The one I saw was like that. I'd seen them before. I live up there by the Merrimack River, and there's a lot of activity up there too.
No kidding.
But nothing like out here. There's a lot going on out here.
You know, you're right, because for Bill to be here and not hear anything hardly at all, and for me to be down there, and I hear them out there often, they must be coming down.
Did you hear them after dark?
Yep. And sometimes I hear them in the daytime, right in the middle of the day.
Well, you see, I don't know. I hardly ever go outside after dark. Probably maybe why I don't hear them. Of course, I can't hear near as good as I used to because I got old.
Yep.
But,
I mean, I've heard them in the daytime, not often, but at nighttime, I hear them often. But I was thinking they were coming to get water, but they would go right back here, because the creeks are right down here. So they have to go right through your backyard almost to get to the creeks.
But,
And they make noise sometimes the whole time they're walking through there. They'll just be making noise.
They sound like a bunch of deer just walking the edge of your woodline.
no kidding? Yeah.
And sometimes they'll make like a siren, like an ambulance siren sound.
Oh, they do.
They make all kinds of noises. They just,
Huh.
I mean, they make, I don't know how they do it, but their vocal cords, their vocal box is a lot more complicated than ours is, and they make all kinds of different, weird, scary, creepy noises.
But the thing, they don't seem like they want to hurt anybody though, or anything.
No, they don't. They don't. I mean, even when they didn't want, out there, all they wanted to do was just run me off.
Yeah.
They didn't try to hurt me at all. They just wanted to get rid of me. Which they did.
Yeah.
I mean, it scared me pretty bad.
I don't know if they want to come around and see if they can find anything to eat, maybe. I don't know.
Well, that watermelon, what could have carried that watermelon off?
I don't know, but something did.
Now, that was a pretty, go ahead and tell us about that.
My daughter had bought a watermelon one weekend, brought it down here, and I put it in the refrigerator and let it sit in there all week, so we'd get it cooled down, so we try it the next weekend, And anyway, I cut it open, and she did, and we put it on 3 different places, me and 2 daughters myself. And we tried it, and it was kind of mushy and bad. So took that whole half down there and set it out, and those other pieces. And next morning, the whole it was all gone. I know the fox ain't going to eat it or anything like that.
Yeah, and I heard they love watermelons.
You did?
Stories up there in Illinois, in the river, where they grow watermelons. I've heard people say they come down in there and snag up some watermelons.
No kidding.
Yeah. Well, a raccoon couldn't have carried it off. Possum couldn't carry it off.
No.
They'll also turn on the faucets. Like if you got a water faucet,
Yeah.
they'll leave it on. You'll come out in the morning and it'll be running.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I scratched my head for years wondering what the heck was going on. Because a lot of stuff I didn't know if it was paranormal activity like ghost or what it was. Or somebody messing with me,
Yeah, we'll be setting out tonight up there.
Are you?
We'll set out tonight. If you want to come up and sit out there with us, we'll have a fire going.
Yeah.
I hope the wind dies down.
Yeah.
It should.
Because when it's windy, it's hard to hear them. You can still hear them, far off pretty good. You can hear them.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't tell him about when Let Stacy was picking blackberries back up in that holler up in there. And, well, she got done picking them in this one area and stepped back in that old pathway. And she said just on the other side of them, all the bushes and everything, that thing stepped out too on the other side of it. And she said that it ran one way and she ran the other way. She said that's the stinkingest thing she ever smelled of.
Mm-hmm. So the creature was scared too. It took off.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, and she was afraid. She took off the other way.
Yeah.
I always thought that'd be a great place to find hair, like big clumps of hair when they go in and try to get blackberries.
Yeah.
Man, I'd like to have me one of those. Side by side.
Yeah.
They're handy. Expensive though.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can almost buy a car.
Yeah. Yeah, nice little truck for
Some
that
of them
price.
cost $30,000.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy me a car before I buy $30,000.
It's like brand new Ford Ranger or a little 4-wheeler side by side.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, even the cheap ones are 17,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
17, 18,000. Around there.
I got a little old four-wheeler, regular, you know, like when they first come out. I still got that old thing.
Do you?
Yeah, little Honda.
Honda.
Yeah.
Well, if you go out to Bill's at the right time one day, you'll probably hear them. It's like
Yeah.
right before it gets dark and
Yeah.
right when it gets
Yeah,
dark.
they start early over there, up there.
Uh-huh.
They start early. And if you sit there long enough at night time, if you sit out there, say if you have a 7-night span a week, you will hear them 4 or 5 nights out of that 7-night span. You'll hear them out there 4 or 5 nights at least. You'll hear something going on out there. You hear a holler, a grunt like a gorilla grunt, or a long, not a coyote high pitch. It's lower than a coyote yell.
Maybe you could get a watermelon and set it up out there, and then kind of get a picture of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're hard to get pictures of. They don't like to have their picture taken.
Mm.
Yeah, they really like blackberries, watermelons, apples, chocolate, and peanut butter.
Yeah.
Things like that.
I had some old apples, you know, I threw them out. Well, I threw them out in the back. I thought, well, the deer are going to eat them. But my daughter had the camera out back there, you know, and then never got a picture of deer. They wasn't eating apples, but I threw them down there where I put that watermelon that time. I mean, it was a different time. But something ate all them old apples, you know, I put down there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something liked them.
Yeah, something like them.
I wonder why they like this area so much specifically, like why they've been around this area.
It has to be, they got a water supply.
Mhm.
That's spring fed. Never
Okay.
goes dry, that one.
Yeah.
And they have these mountains right here.
Well, our old house up there, way up in the woods, a mile way back in there, that was so secluded up in there. Nobody ever came through there. I mean,
I bet that's why they were
it
there.
was just us coming up and down the road there to get in and out of the place. But
I bet that's why they were there. And that creek. Oh, I wonder where that creek runs. On y'all's land, did y'all have a creek run through there?
yeah,
Is it this same one, you think?
it's not Cedar Creek. It's the one.
Is that where your dad got that footprint at in the creek?
Up by the house, yeah.
Hmm.
In that old red clay place up there. But that creek runs from way past our house up there up in the woods back up in there, all the way down, and it runs into Little St. Francis River. It's over here, where that big hill is at, and as you go down on E Highway and there's a bridge down there, that's the one that originates way back up in our old house.
Mm-hmm. So they have a water supply.
Yeah.
They have woods.
And there was spring back up in our old place anyway, where we lived up there.
So they had
Back
good
up-
water.
Yeah, they had water up there.
They had deer, woods, and water.
Way back when that thing was up there around our house, there was no deer though. Nobody ever saw a deer around because there just weren't any way back then.
Really?
The conservation department got all the deer herds started
Yeah, it
later
ain't
on.
nothing like it is now. Back then, people would hardly ever see deer.
There was no
Really?
deer. Nope. Wasn't hardly very many turkeys.
Oh, tell us that pig story.
Oh, yeah, that's right. My brother was telling me about this. And I didn't even know anything about it, but anyway, he told me when I was taking him up to VA to get his blood checked before he died, that's about 3.5 years ago. He said, we had an old sow, had some pigs up there, you know, in the barn. And anyhow, that thing come down and got one of her little pigs. I don't know how old it was then, or how big, but anyway, and the little old pig squealed like crazy, something got him, and they was taking him up on the mountain. They got up there to the fence line, and that old sow followed him all the way up there, after him all the way up there, but anyway, I don't know if she bit him or something, but he turned that little pig loose, and the old sow come back to the barn and had her little pig with her.
Oh, wow.
Rescued her little pig.
Yeah.
That
That's
funny?
wild.
Had to bite it or something.
Yeah.
On the ankle or the calf.
When he's getting over the fence, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's funny. On a Rock Pile Mountain, that's just woods, isn't it? Do you know? That's just all woods.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Yeah.
no roads or nothing up in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that pretty much covers
Okay.
the short stories.
I wish I knew more to tell you.
No,
I'm
that's
just
fine.
too young to know all about the good stuff. Way back, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to it when I was so young.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you telling me what you
Yeah.
remember, and
I'll get you a picture. I got an extra picture of my
Yeah.
dad. Hope was that print
yeah,
in there. I'll go get that.
absolutely.
For you.
All right. George Slocum, 22 Jackson piano tuner, displays the cast of a footprint of the baby Momo that roamed his farm near Fredericktown, Missouri in the late 1940s. Oh yeah, that's a nice little track there. You can see toes and everything, huh?
Huh?
Yeah,
You can see the toes and all that.
Yeah.
Very neat. I appreciate you sharing that with me.
You can keep it if you
Okay.
need.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got another one in there.
Cool.
My daughter made several. She copied several of them.
That's good.
Yeah.
Slocum stories coming back to life.
Well, I appreciate it.
In Cape, they reran that.
Mm-hmm.
They reran that story in Cape a few weeks ago.
Really?
Yep.
The Democrat News up here, they put things in there that happened like 75 years ago or 100 years ago or something like that in there.
Yeah.
And anyway, I was up at my nephew's house, maybe a month ago or more. And she said, well, they had that rerun in there 75 years ago in there. There's a story about this.
Oh, they did it here in Fredericktown?
Yeah.
They did?
Yeah. I didn't buy the Democrat News. I didn't get to see it in there, but she was telling me about it.
I hope you guys all enjoyed this story about the Slocum Hollow legacy, written by Michael Helms, and the interview I did with one of the last surviving family members. Can you imagine what it was like living in southeast Missouri back then and encountering Sasquatch on your property? I just picture his sisters running through the house telling everyone what they saw. It almost reminds me of the Boggy Creek story. Since my interview with Mr. Slocum, I have received many other emails from other family members around the area with Bigfoot encounters. It's a big group of people too, and they were willing to share their encounters. What makes an area like this so active? Could it possibly be connected to the large amount of pink granite deposits, large pine forest, and many waterways? Why is there so much paranormal activity in this area, and why has it been going on for so long under the radar? Also, I've recorded some strange audio along with the research team from this exact area, and you can find those recordings in the links below. If you want to gain access to the full videos and the behind the scenes action, you can become a Sasquatch Theory member today. Alright everyone, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification to stay updated with all my future videos. Take care everyone.